everybody! Thank you so much for tuning in. I am shooting this video on my birthday, December 27th, so yay! So I really am happy and excited for the day, although I may come across a little bit down as I talk about some of these products, because when I'm talking about something that didn't work well for me, I may come off more sassy, negative, not in a good mood, I don't know. Sometimes y'all are seriously convinced that I'm down in the dumps when I'm talking about something that I don't really like that much, when really it's just, you know, these are the emotions that come out when I'm talking about something that I didn't absolutely love. So you'll have that, but I know you guys are always interested when I do my end of the year roundup after I do the Emily Awards. You want to know what are the things that work the worst. But we shouldn't get too serious about this. I mean, this is just makeup and these are just my experiences. As always, other people might have different experiences with these things. This year, I don't think I'm gonna rank them like bad to ultimate worst, because as I really started looking at them, sort of the same idea came to mind as when I was doing certain categories with the Emily Awards. It's kind of apples and oranges. One thing is bad for this reason, the other thing is bad for this totally different reason, and they're both just bad. So we're gonna go through and discuss, and by the way, isn't this shirt so cute? My sister got me this for Christmas, and it's kind of like a sweatshirt, actually. Like the way the sleeves are and the bottom, it's like a sweatshirt, but the top, look how cute! I feel so cute today. So this is just the worst stuff over the past year. I'm just looking back the past year with this. And I always worry when I sit down to do these, like, have I forgotten about some things? Have there been some things that I maybe tossed, like just thought, oh, this stinks, and got rid of it? And there is a situation where that happened and I don't have the product here to show you. But in most cases, when I have a hunch that's gonna be a pretty dang bad product, I keep it stowed away somewhere for a moment like this. So here's one thing. We'll get warmed up here. The iKate Beauty sponges here. Just, they're blending sponges. iKate House is a great website to get affordable makeup. I mean, I've gotten a lot of great palettes. They have some brands that you might find in drugstores, like Milani, for example, and then some things that are kind of like, you're really only gonna find them there. And under their iKate Beauty brand, they have these sponges, and these might be the worst blending sponges I've ever used. And obviously here, this one has not been dampened. It was a long time ago that I was using these, but they don't grow in size. They stay very like rubbery, too hard. They just are not an effective blending sponge at all. When you get a good sponge, you want it to be soft. You want it to kind of like, I don't know, hug the contours of your face as you press your product in. This just simply does not soften up enough, and it just sort of smears product around. That's what you end up having when the sponge is too hard. So I've got a lovely 2-pack here. Okay, here's an award for the driest of the dry matte liquid lipstick that I think I tried this year, and it's from Bronx Colors. So this is a brand that was new to Ulta over the course of the past year. The Matte Lip Tint. I think this shade might be MLT04, although it doesn't have an actual shade name written on it, but it's a very pinky color, and you may have heard me talk about this in a previous video, how this had a dry down that wasn't just dry down, it like went a little bit beyond that by actually seeming chalky on the lips. Just not pleasant at all. And it didn't change colors, it didn't like darken up and transform into a really weird shade as some liquid lipsticks do, but so incredibly drying, and you know I don't have the patience for that. I don't want to feel that on my lips all day, just super annoying. So that's a big old dud for me. Here's another lip product that I would totally skip, and it's the Burt's Bees Tinted Lip Oil. I've got a couple of these. I think when I ordered them at first, I got 2. So I got Caramel Cloud, which this goes on looking like nothing on my lips, and Crimson Breeze has a little bit of a reddish tint, but it's legit, it's just straight up oil. And I feel like when we're talking lips, it needs a little something to thicken it up. Like, there's a reason why I like the Milani lip oils, for example. Those have sort of a gel gloss thing going on in there too, so I felt like I was getting the moisturization, but there was a thickness. These are so thin, they wear off the lips so quickly, and the texture is just so incredibly thin. It's like there's not even much point to having a tint to these at all, because it just doesn't hang on to the lips whatsoever. There's nothing really helping this adhere. And Burt's Bees has some tremendous lip balms, like really great just plain lip balms, and I love their lipsticks too. Their satin lipsticks are so nice, but these just miss the mark for me. Oh no, Burt's Bees had another dud this year for me. I'm sorry, Burt's Bees, like I said, you got some good stuff, but this Flavor Crystals lip balm, the Tropical Pineapple, smells like it'll knock your socks off with how nice and sweet and fruity the scent is. But it's like, why do we need a Flavor Crystals gritty lip balm? Like, it's just grit. It's not like this is enough grit to act as a lip exfoliator. It's just a gritty lip balm. Why? It has kind of a dryness to it. It's like not nearly the moisturization factor that you would find in their standard lip balms. I don't know, guys. It's just, those are the kinds of products that make me wonder who stood up in the meeting and said that was a good idea and then a bunch of people agreed and it got made. Like, how? You guys have heard me talk about this thing before. I just don't really get this Infallible Pro Glow powder. Now, I can enjoy the foundation. I think that's a decent foundation. I really like the Pro Glow concealer, but the powder, I think it's important that I point out that I am not really a fan of the powder because it's got like half sort of sparkle infused stuff up here and then half like a different tone of plain powder on the bottom. And I say sparkle infused because that's not a highlight. It's not like, it doesn't have this pearlescent like sheen across it like we're gonna do a split pan powder and highlight thing. It's just got this weird like glitter fleckiness that's gonna show up exactly as that, just little flecks of random glitter. I don't get it at all. L'Oreal does amazing things with their True Match pressed powder. I would say just leave it at that, you know? Maybe give us like a True Match pressed powder illumination, you know, one that has just a little less of a totally matte finish. That would be cool. And it says in the finish, there are 3 finish options: demi-matte, natural, and glow. And it identifies this powder as a glow powder. It's not really glow. It's just kind of an odd split pan dual tone powder with small glitter flecks. My Maybelline Master Camo Face Studio in Apricot for dark circles, light to medium skin tones. The problem here is I think who they're marketing this toward. This for light to medium skin tones is really, really dark. That's light to medium skin tones? Medium to tan maybe, but then they need a whole other peach shade that's a lot lighter than this that would cater to my skin tone. Because this is way too dark. I find it kind of stiff to blend out. It's not super duper creamy. It truly just shows way too much on my skin. And I don't have like world's lightest skin either. So the people who have a lot lighter skin than me and they're thinking, okay, I'll get the sticker at my dark circles. Yep, light to medium skin tones. This is flat out orange, if not University of Texas burnt orange. I really believe they need something lighter. Legit, what were they thinking moment with this product? The e.l.f. Hydrating Gel Mist, a gel to liquid mist that plumps and hydrates. It's one thing to mist your skin with just a straight up liquid because you know you get this fine mist and it's almost soothing and relaxing and kind of an experience when you put it on. When you put on this gel, I'm just gonna spray my hand here, like it comes out hard. I'm not sure who's using this and thinking, oh, that was enjoyable. All this gel just kind of blasted in my face. Like, remember Double Dare on Nickelodeon and people got slimed? Like, that's kind of what this takes me back to, I suppose. Like a mist of gel, I don't really get it. Can we not just moisturize and then we can use our setting sprays? To me, it just feels like this gimmicky reach for a product that's really not that pleasant to use at all. Next, I want to call out a product that just didn't do what it said it was gonna do. And it's the Milk Makeup Blur Spray. And this is something where maybe, yeah, just to use it as a little bit of a setting mist at the end of your look, it could perform fine, but they say it's gonna be an invisible matte makeup setting spray that provides a soft focus blur effect. The matte part, yes, I don't think it really adds any additional glow to my skin, but a soft focus blur effect through this spray, it does not do that. I've looked very closely before and after multiple times using this spray, and it's not blurring my skin. I mean, the things that are blurring my skin might be the powder I put on, the foundation I'm wearing that day, but this mist in itself is not providing a soft focus blur effect. It just, their blur stick, I think when you use that carefully and kind of gently apply product on top of it, use it as a primer first. When you don't do too much hard rubbing across where you've applied the blur stick, I think that can maybe give some soft focus blur effect, but I think they just slapped that name on this spray and it does not do that really. Here's an eyeliner that I just could not make work for me this year. It's the Too Faced I Want Candy Liquid Liner, and there were some great parts of this line for me. I actually especially enjoyed the liquid lipsticks, but this eyeliner, now this is coming from a person who's very set in their ways using a pointed tip eyeliner, but this angled tip here, and it's a very stiff angled tip, that's not a brush, that's just a cut edge there, and I find it very, very hard to control across my eyes. So I've learned, like, when I'm looking for eyeliner, what I'm probably gonna like best is something that has a tip formed to more of a point. That's the liner I can work with the fastest and get the best line. And this is a classic situation where for some people, maybe this just really worked for you, like this made it easier for you to do liquid liner, but for me, who really excels more with the pointed tip, I found it so tricky to work with. A few brow things here. The first one, I'll just throw out a mention here and pop up a picture because I don't have the product anymore, but it was from CoverGirl. It was called like Easy Breezy Brow, and it's a tinted brow mascara type gel product with a curved brush, okay? I understand sometimes putting a curved brush in a mascara tube, but why on the brows? I don't know. It held a lot of product. Way overgooped the brows, like hard to control, not a good product design, and they need to make it so it gets way more cleaned off as people take it out of the tube because it's just too much in the brows for probably about anyone. The Almay brow pencil, I have it here in brunette. This is an example of a brow pencil where I think the design was nice. It's kind of a teardrop shape here, so kind of that softened up triangle look. It's really not oversized. It's got the spoolie wand at the other end, so I'm not really hating on it for design's sake, but the formula is far too soft for me. So when I'm getting in there with my brows, it can create kind of a clumped, uneven, sort of patchy effect because it just is so soft. So I need something a lot firmer for my brows. If you like a softer brow pencil, this might be one to look into for you. Something that I really wouldn't advise anybody to go out and grab is the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Kabuki blender. We've got a thick pencil here, okay, so that's gonna wear down eventually because there's no real way to sharpen it. And then like this stiff little brush that you're supposed to use to, I guess, usher it on through the brows. I don't know, it's way too much. It's way too much. Like, I don't need the finest brow pencil in the world, although I'll take it, you know, I'll take a Brow Wiz, I'll take a NYX Micro Brow, and I'll make some slightly thicker pencils work too. Like I said, the Almay, that was not too thick, but something that resembles a jumbo pencil that you might use like all over your eyelids, or a jumbo stick for lips, like something that big for brows, I really don't think it's necessary. And then this brush, like, okay, we've already put on a really thick pencil through our brows. Now, can we thicken the path even more with a really dense brush? It just doesn't work for me, folks. And then the last thing I'm gonna mention here is the worst, probably, yeah, I'd say the worst eyeshadow product that I've tried this year. It's from JCat Beauty, and it's their Beverly Hills 90210 24 eyeshadow palette. I know it sounds like it should be a winner, but this is perhaps one of the most inconsistent eyeshadow palettes with some of the most flaky shadows I've ever seen. Like, you see the shadow just falling from there? It's just, it's like snow. I'm dreaming of a white birthday. Chunky with a slight touch, even just the slight touch of a brush, I thought, like, there's no way I can control this stuff. And then you got some shades that don't behave that way at all, that could be, you know, fine. But the unfortunate thing is that the chunky shades are everywhere. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, at least 12 shades in here that have that kind of really flaked out chunkiness. And I don't think I've ever seen any brand have quite that degree of chunky, flaky, just looseness to the shadow. Bought it because I thought that looks like a shade range that would appeal to me. Got it home, completely different story once you start touching it. Again, guys, I apologize if I forgot any bad products that I mentioned over the course of the past year and they didn't make it into my little fail box here. But hopefully this gave you more than enough in terms of warnings of products that you might want to steer clear from. And if they are working out for you, go you. I hope not everybody has to get as frustrated as I do over some of this stuff. But thank you guys so much for your time today watching this video. I hope it was useful, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.